This episode of the Red Bull Rant is brought to you by the fine patrons that support us through patreon.com/Red Bull Rant. You can support us for the low price of $1 a month, and you can get exclusive content, including a monthly wrap-up for the New York Red Bulls. We want to send a special shout-out to our patrons who support us at $5 a month. That is our producer-level reward. Thank you to Jeremiah Dempster, William Martin, Clayton John, and Christopher Admack. Now, on to the show.
This is the Red Bull Rant podcast. If you aren't expecting adult language, why even bother listening?
Welcome, my friends, to the Show Never Ends. This is the Red Bull Rant podcast. I'm your host, Jason Iapicco.
I'm Pat McDonald.
I'm Truman. Holy shit, there's three of us, and this is episode 319.
Oh, there's the flavor.
I'm pretty sure it's the first time all of us are together since before your wedding.
I think you're right.
Very possible.
So we're talking a good month and a half at this point.
Yes, indeed.
And we may be going back to that. Sooner or less than 3 sooner rather than later.
Enjoy this. Enjoy it while it lasts. Everyone.
Exactly.
So, New York Red Bulls bounced back from that loss to Toronto with a ugly but good 1-0 victory down in Orlando. God damn it, the stupid cough.
I see Jay's still dying since I've been last on the show.
Something never changed.
Hey, if anything, I am just consistent, okay? So 1-0 win in Orlando. Brian White scoring the only goal of the game. Man of the match, or co-man of the match, I'm not kidding, the Red Bulls actually did this, was the goalpost.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The entire frame.
Truman, do you have the tweets ready for this one?
Yeah, there's a bunch. Isn't it weird? Like we won a game and there's a bunch of tweets.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, I'm not used to it. So let's get to it. Travis Moose at Moose_Travis said, interesting choice to plug in a two-striker set late in the game when it would have made more sense to just add a fifth defender in that situation to shore up the back line. Is a two-striker set the plan moving forward for Armas? Head scratching. All right. There's another tweet related to this, so let's remember this topic, and I want to get back to it. Because there was something weird. Maybe my dislike. I don't know. Our friend Anthony Jeffra says, the goalpost has made many key saves for Red Bulls this season, and it continued here. And subbing in offense up 1-0 was definitely odd. Strange. Hear that again. Keith Woodfin at HK Dallas said, I thought we played better versus TFC than Orlando. The difference, the post and no boneheaded plays by the fullbacks this week. Tarek and Murillo, most of the time, did well. Mm-hmm. Wayne Harrison at W Harrison 83. A win is a win, but like a lot of this season, it wasn't convincing. Yeah, And what I agree with what at Creepy Taxi, our friend Steven Santos says, I will take a road win any way possible, ugly or pretty. Exactly.
It's true.
Casey Jones at Grateful Shred 23. Much needed 3 points on the road. Just wish they would stop playing up or down to the opponent. Start the best 11 and play your game. I don't know. But what are the Red Bulls really this year, right? Are they really playing up or down to anybody?
You can have a best 11.
Right. CNY Metro Star at CNY_Metro 96. Got the W, but holy crap, that it was that second half poop emoji. On the plus side, please play Etienne more, and Brian White should be starting for the rest of the season, in my opinion. So far, yeah. Keith Woodfin, I think, chimed in again here. Let's not sub out Kaku for BWP anymore, please.
Yes.
We're getting to it, right? We're getting to that. We're going to talk about it. And Tonino M at Tonino M said, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Yep.
So, can we move on to dislikes? And I will just kick it off because that would be my dislike. The substitution at the end. I don't understand it one bit. I don't understand subbing in a forward like was mentioned, which is very strange, up 1-0 on the road. And if you're doing that, why are you subbing out your best playmaker, as I put that in quotes? I mean, Kaku is supposed to be your best playmaker, and I mean, in this game he was.
Mhm.
I mean, he had the assist for the only goal. Why are you pulling him out and putting in a forward? That is completely puzzling to me. I could see more of like Royer coming out there, like a different player. I think that sub made absolutely no sense.
Yeah, no, it didn't make any sense. No clue what exactly Armis's intention was there. I mean, Armis, once again, I mean, this whole season has been up and down for him. There are games where he looks like, wow, you really knew what you were doing. And then there's other games that are like, what was that? And I kind of feel like this is one of those. That decision made no sense. I'll just double down on the dislike because it was a boring game. So, I mean, other than that, what else are you going to dislike really in this one?
Those posts were boring?
Yeah, those posts were boring. So, yeah, it's doesn't make much sense, but hey, a win is a win.
Just to be a little different, I'll just the defense in the second half. Listen, I get it. It's a hot, humid atmosphere in Florida. The team is not really used to it, so I understand kind of bunkering and taking the pressure. I get that. But if you're going to do that, you don't give up the shots you do, let alone let them get as close as they did. You're going to bunker, you still got to step up on guys when they're going to take a shot on goal. And that's what the defense wasn't doing.
Also, if you're bunkering, why are you subbing in all like offensive players?
Well, that just kind of goes along with that. Is if you're
Right.
The only way the BWP sub makes sense is if the Red Bulls had any sort of offense going in the second half, and he would jumpstart it. But they very clearly halfway through the second, actually not even halfway. I'm going to say like 15 minutes into the second half, just kind of gave up on any sort of offense, really.
Yeah.
And just hoped to come away with at least a draw.
Mm-hmm.
And if Orlando was a better team, we would have been fucked in that second half.
Yeah, I was fully expecting to give up a goal in that second half. Fully expecting the way they were attacking.
Yeah, without question.
How they didn't get a better shot on net. I'm perplexed.
I mean, ex-Red Bull Sasha Kleshkin comes on and immediately starts tearing us to shreds. What does that tell you?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Pat, we'll start with you. What did you like about this one?
You know what? I'll just give it to Brian White. Gets another goal. I mean, it wasn't the prettiest goal. Kind of shot it right at the keeper, but fortunately the keeper wasn't able to handle it, and it went in the back of the net. So, yeah, I mean, he gives us another road win, and he continues to impress. So, yeah, hats off to Brian White.
I'm just going to agree with you. I think it's the big like here. Flemington's own Brian White. Like everyone on Twitter is saying, there's no reason why he shouldn't be starting. He is, again, red hot. Kaku fed him a great pass, and he was able to bury it. Ugly or pretty, you take a goal like that. Yeah, he's the starter for now. He's the starter unless they do some kind of wacky 2-forward thing like some people were asking about. I mean, I don't see a 2-forward formation coming out of this team.
Mm.
Again, if you're going to experiment that, why are you taking Kaku out? But, yeah, again, I'm with you. Brian White all the way.
I'll throw to Kaku because that pass was one of the best passes we've seen out of him this year. I mean, to thread in an early ball the way he did from the position, because it wasn't even like he was on the sideline. He was kind of central, if you think about where he was.
Mm-hmm.
But to get that ball in there for Brian White to be the only guy to take a shot, that's a pretty good pass, and it's something that we should hopefully see more of.
Yep.
So we'll move into afterthoughts, and this will be kind of weird, but this is not really related to the game. I feel like just watching the Red Bulls the last few weeks since we've been on Fox Sports a lot, I feel like Fox Sports has surpassed ESPN for its for at least for the game day actual game coverage of MLS.
Well, listen, they surpassed them when they showed clips from Forza Lucha, so right then and there it was over.
True.
Like, there's no compare. ESPN would have never in a million years shown that clip.
No,
ever.
No, they wouldn't. But just in general, I mean, we've had a few different commentators over the last few weeks, and I haven't had any real complaints with any of them. I feel like the production quality's been there all throughout all this, especially when they're doing multiple matches. Like we had the Seattle match immediately following the Red Bulls, so of course they got like the better commentating team because of the whole Seattle-Portland angle. But they're not slouching on MLS coverage.
No,
and I'm glad.
Yeah, I mean, I think they need to have that kind of programming more than ESPN does. ESPN shows more sports for the main part. So
ESPN also has a history to get away with not caring as much.
Right. I mean, they have the NFL. They got their baseball, Sunday night baseball, Monday night baseball, basketball, whatever. So I think it's nice that FS1 kind of is like, hey, this is our sport that we need to embrace. And yeah, I'll say they definitely do a better job. And did you notice something very weird? This game was on FS1 and there was no 20-minute pregame. That game kicked off what was it? What was that? A 7:35 start, I think?
I thought it was like I guess it was 7:30. I thought it was 8:30, but yeah, it was pretty close to the time it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Usually they do like a 20-minute pregame, but no, boom. Maybe that's because of the Seattle game afterwards.
They had the game right afterwards, which
But still,
if you want the East Coast to stay on it, that game's got to start pretty much on time. So
I was being very lazy with the beginning of it because I'm like, oh, it's going to be like 15, 20 minutes for the game starts, and they're like coming up at the break kick. I'm like, holy shit! All right, I'm not changing the channel now.
Don't worry, MLS will be replaced with Bass Pro Fishing in no time.
Hey, listen, cornhole's already coming on strong on ESPN, so watch out. I wish I was making that up. I really do.
No, I know.
Yeah.
So I was going to bring this up during Dumping Ground, but it actually kind of makes sense more now. Actually, first, any other afterthoughts on the game?
Yeah, just fucking DirecTV. Can you give me the final 5 minutes of the game without you completely going to shit because of the weather? Thank God I had the game also running on my laptop, just in case that happened. Fucking A.
I lost internet like 20 minutes after the game ended, so.
Yeah.
Annoying.
We didn't have that issue at Derby Road for Saturday, but we did have it last Wednesday.
Yeah, irritating.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this was going to be Dumping Ground, but
no, we can do it now.
Yeah, might as well. So the Red Bulls traveled back from Orlando on Monday, and if you follow Tim Parker, you had a pretty upfront look at why MLS's travel regulations are stupid.
Yep.
And if you don't know what I mean, it's that teams are limited on number of charter flights they can do per year. The reason, I guess, is because it saves money, but it's stupid, and here's why. So, Monday, everybody knows the East Coast was getting socked with bad weather. So, Tim Parker started tweeting sometime in the morning about his flight being delayed 4 hours until 3 p.m. Then at 11:08, that he received a $10 meal voucher. Then, I gotta do the math on this. Then at roughly noonish, flight pushed back another 20 minutes. He got free Famous Amos though from United, so that's good. Sent out an SOS to Barstool Big Cat. I'm not sure who that is. Then eventually, contrary to belief, we've been delayed again until 3:40 p.m. Original flight at 11. So at this point, he's looking at 4 hours, 40 minutes delay. Then eventually at 3:06 p.m., flight was delayed till 5:30 p.m. And he was slowly adapting to airport living at this point. Eventually, he was, I guess, DMing United Airlines. Let's see what the...
I think, needless to say, it was a long story. He was stuck in the airport for a really fucking long time, and they didn't fly out until the next day. And it was a pretty humorous. If you want to check it out, you should go to Tim Parker's Twitter account and check it out and read it.
And then see where Tarek, didn't Tarek go to like Universal Studios or something?
No. So they left that day.
Yeah.
So he was on the plane at like 6. The departure was like 6:51 or something like that. But when he got back, Oh, never mind. You're right.
They did not leave that day.
They didn't leave because Newark ended up closing.
Yep.
Because of the weather. So him and Aaron Long just rented the car and drove home.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if they actually did that. I think that might have been a joke. But it was quite the story. I feel their pain. That happened to me in Atlanta back in April. I got stuck there for like an extra 7 hours. So, but yeah, I mean, long story short, if I'm not mistaken, the new CBA is up after this season?
It's got to be. It's close to 5 years now.
Yeah, so the players got to strike. They got to put their money where their mouth is, and they got to strike. I kind of, unless the league caves, but I think they got to put a unified front. They got to start putting their foot down. They got living wages last time. Now they need to just flat out strike and pull MLS out of the dark ages. It's time. It's long overdue. So.
Yeah, so I just found it. It was signed in February 2015 and is expiring in January.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
it'll be a fun year next year.
at some point, this is going to sound a little weird, but to be taken seriously, you can't let shit like this keep happening. We've seen multiple occasions where teams are getting screwed over. We lost to 2 teams that were dealing with travel, and they came literally the morning of. Like, this keeps happening. It's not good.
Yeah, if they had a charter flight, they would have flown out the night after the game.
Yeah. I mean, the only advantage the Red Bulls have is being where they are. They can kind of reliably get to Philly, DC, NYCFC, and New England through like Amtrak / New Jersey Transit, whatever. But getting to outside those places, they got to fix this.
Yeah.
All right. Any other afterthoughts?
Nah.
Okay. So prediction standings. I was the only one to get any points. I called it a win. I believe you guys both called it draws. So that puts me at 14 points. Truman is still in second with 8. Pat is in third with 6. Fan predictions. Fan predictions aren't happening. So this is the last time I'm mentioning that. We're done for the year. I think Jen was winning at that. Good
job, Jen. You won. We think.
What do you got, Jen?
Yep, she won by a point over Jen. Sorry, guys, I can't do it. All right, so Red Bulls this weekend are hosting the Columbus Crew on Saturday, July 27th, 7:30 p.m. kickoff time. Game will be broadcast on MSG. Columbus, not so great this year, coming to the game with a 6-14-3 record overall, 1-8-1 on the road, minus 13 goal difference, 11th in the Eastern Conference. Last 5 were 3 losses, a draw, and a win. And the only time the Red Bulls have played Columbus this year, it was a 1-1 draw on opening day in Columbus. So a lot has changed since then.
Yeah,
predictions. What was that?
Yeah, they suck. That's what's changed. They suck.
They lost what's his face? Berhalter.
When you trade him away to Atlanta, yeah. Wait, no. Who am I thinking? I think of Higuain. They traded him away, right?
No, Greg Berhalter went to the U.S. national team as the head coach.
Okay, but didn't they trade one of their players to Atlanta this year?
Not Higuain. I don't know, maybe, but definitely not Higuain.
Okay. I don't remember the guy's name. I know they traded somebody. Anyway, predictions. Since I'm in first, I'm up first. I think the Red Bulls are going to win, and they better because Columbus is a really crappy road team this year. I'm going to go a little more positive than I did against Orlando. I'm going to say 3-1 because Columbus has a way of scoring goals against us, so they're not going to get completely shut out.
Well, I guess I have to be fucking different since you stole mine, and I got to catch up. I'm going to say 2-0. Listen, Columbus, maybe they should have moved to Austin. Good God, you fight so hard to keep your team there, and now you blow, and the fans are going to stay away.
Hopefully when they get the fancy new city stadium, that'll change.
One can hope. I mean, them and Chicago are really gambling a lot on moving and hoping fans come out.
I'm actually going to agree with Truman. 2-0 win. This is what sucks about being in last place. I have no hope of catching up because all the scores I agree with. But hey, I agree. I predict poorly anyway, as evidenced by the points I have this year. So yeah, so 2-0 win. Columbus is trash. I think the Red Bulls will win. It'll be fun. A fun one on Saturday.
I think the Red Bulls are actually what I saw. I actually went to their training the other day. I think actually the lineup they're playing is no keeper because they're just going to rely fully on goalpost.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so I mean, you get that extra attacker out there, and then every ball just goes off the bar.
I mean, you face a team with a minus 13 goal difference. That makes sense,
right?
Yeah. You can send out. I mean, that's how you get BWP back on the field because you feel bad.
Yep.
Yeah. Never mind tactics. Never mind what's tactically good for the team. You got to get BWP out there because you feel bad.
Yep.
All right. Moving on. New York Red Bulls 2 drew their last match 2-2 at Memphis 901, which brings their record to 11-5-4, 38 points plus 21 goal difference, and they still sit second in the East.
It's fucking crazy.
Which part?
That they're 11-5-4 with the plus 21 goal differential, and they're still in second place.
Well, because their one game was 8-1, so it's kind of an inflated goal difference. Their next match is at home against the Tampa Bay Rowdies, who are currently first in the East. It's this Friday the 26th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Sky Blue FC have played 2 games since our last podcast, and they've unfortunately lost both of them. The last one being a 1-0 loss at home to the Washington Spirit. The good news for that game, though, is that they had 5,000 plus at Rutgers, so they get at least some sort of post-World Cup bounce. Hopefully it sustains better than their less than 2,000 average attendance has been so far this year.
Yeah, we'll see. We know how these bumps in attendance go.
Yeah, especially when you're not winning.
Yep.
Their record right now is 2-9, 8 points, minus 8 goal difference, and it's currently sitting 9th in the league. Next match is away to the Houston Dash on Sunday, July 28th, 8:30 p.m. Before we move on, this is NWSL stuff. Do you guys see the reported number for the crowd at the Chicago Red Stars match?
No.
During the week?
I just saw, that game was on before. Was it on before the Red Bulls or something? Because it was on at the bar. It was an impressive crowd, I'll say that much.
Yeah, it was 17,000 at Toyota Park.
Nice.
In Chicago.
I'm sure it's a Women's World Cup bump, for sure.
Of course, but I mean, still, to get 17,000 out, that's pretty good.
No, it's good. I'm not shitting on it. I'm just saying.
So some people can come out to that stadium, huh?
Yeah.
Imagine that, a team that can actually play.
Weird.
Keep it up, I guess.
Okay. So next is time for the dumping ground.
I'm the trash man.
All right, I just have one thing real quick, just because I thought it was funny. Liverpool had their preseason tour this past week, and the funny part was, well, first of all, the game in Fenway you could not watch on TV. It was only available via the Bleacher Report app, which is fine, whatever. The game last night was actually on TNT. The funny part is that they don't have their own broadcasters. They just use whoever Liverpool's broadcasters are, which made for ultimate Homer viewing. It was pure Homer viewing. Now, of course, I found it funny. But if you like the other team, you wouldn't want Liverpool announcers going, "Oh, you'll never walk alone, the greatest song ever written." They gave up a really shitty goal to start the game, and of course, you barely knew they scored. It was like, oh, and it goes into the net. Too bad. What an error. And then, Origi scoring was cause for massive celebration. I don't know. It was very, very funny listening to we're kind of fortunate around here that most of the teams we watch in the New York area, you don't have like hardcore homers at least not on TV. Maybe on the radio it's a little bit. I'm looking at you, New York Yankees radio team.
New York Jets to a degree.
Yeah. But I thought it was just really funny listening to those guys just like lose their minds just for one team.
Yeah, I got nothing for Dumping Ground this week.
Just remind you this. The MLS All-Star Game is next week, the 31st of July, against Atletico Madrid, and Kumar Lawrence is there. I'm hoping that he doesn't get injured or doesn't play, whichever one.
I hope he plays.
I prefer he doesn't play because
I know you hate the All-Star Game. I'm one of those people that thinks it's fun and knows the players don't go in that hard.
I'm just indifferent about it.
You're a grumpy goose.
No. I just don't want to see our guys get hurt, that's all.
And no one gets hurt in those games. No one gets hurt.
It never happens. We talk about it every year, and it never happens.
Yeah. Remember that year when they kept dropping long balls to Henry, and he'd just watch it go over his head, and you just clap like it was a good idea? Yeah. And he was pretty much like, yeah, I'm not fucking chasing it. Sorry, guys.
was that the game at Red Bull Arena?
No, I think that was one in Portland.
Oh, I'm surprised he even played in that game. Oh, that's right. He liked Portland's turf.
He did.
Yeah.
That was the only one he was okay with was Portland.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, so now it's time for Pat's Betting Corner.
All right, it's too bad that I haven't been on the last couple of weeks because I actually did win some money, so that's pretty dope. But for this week, I think you got 3 pretty much guarantees. You got NYCFC, unfortunately, over SKC. Hey, I don't like betting on money either, but I like money. And we got the New York Red Bulls over Columbus, and you got the surprisingly good Minnesota United over Vancouver Whitecaps, who are hot garbage. There's your 3-team parlay this week. Make that money.
Yeah, I'm surprised how good Minnesota United has gotten, but
hey, get your own stadium, right?
Yeah.
All right. The last thing on the agenda is Truman's terrible team of the week.
That's terrible.
There wasn't any fun blowouts to laugh at this week, so I'm going to give it to the Sounders for losing at home to arch rival Portland Timbers. Especially when Seattle is pretty good. And for now, the Portlands are pretty bad. National broadcast game, right? You got your big old TIFO display going on there. You're showboating a little bit. And you drop that game at home. Listen, we don't drop those home games. It's not how we roll on national TV when we're playing our rivals. Most of the time we do. So yeah,
playoffs. That's a different issue,
right? Playoffs. I was talking about that. So yeah, shame on you, Seattle. Shame.
No, I wish I had the shame none, so I could just play that for good 3 seconds. All right. Any other things you want to discuss before we get out of here?
Nope.
No.
All right. Let's wrap this one up. You can visit us at patreon.com/Red Bull Rant. $1 a month is all you need to get exclusive content, such as our weekly wrap-ups. Or sorry, not weekly wrap-ups, monthly wrap-ups. Any live post-game stuff we do, stuff like that. You can email us, redbullrant@gmail.com. You can call us at 973-348-5329. Facebook.com/Red Bull Rant. On Twitter, at Red Bull Rant for the show, at Dr. Stoosh myself, at PMACDA2 for Pat, at The Truman for Truman. Subscribe to our show via iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, pretty much anywhere you can find a podcast. Last words before we get out of here.
Hey, win. How about that? Yeah.
Yeah. Get us a W. Win.
All right, so for Pat, Truman, and myself, this has been episode number 319 of the Red Bull Rant. Thank you guys for tuning in, and as always, go Red Bulls.
Bye-bye.
Lights.
Got